I'm so glad I stacked all my wood and covered it so nicely here so that it could be sitting in a big puddle of water. All right, it's another day. I'm ready to do some tapping. So as you can see, it is wet everywhere we go.
Flooded!
Very flooded. It's even muddy in here. The greenhouse is all muddy. The ground has just been thawing out and it's all saturated, but this isn't good. There's water in our bottom of our evaporator. It looks like it's low enough to still start a fire and probably evaporate some of that out of there, but everything is wet. So evaporator's all cleaned out and ready to go. So we're going to get this filled up with the sap that we've already collected. And I've put a few fans up in here, little blowers, a fan at the front here that will blow out the door. This will help kind of get some of the humidity and things out of here. And I have a few more fans we can add in these windows back here as well to get some good ventilation going in here. Keep the steam out. So we have these 4 buckets full of sap that is ready to start boiling. So we got about 20 gallons there. And then we have all of our jugs here that have some in them out in this backyard here. And then of course we've got all the ones we put in yesterday. So we'll be collecting sap later today. These aren't full yet. And we'll be boiling later today. But the first thing we need to do is get the rest of our trees tapped. About the only thing that's happy in this weather, in the springtime, are those guys. They love all this water. Alright, so with your help, we are going to get every single one of these taps put in today. You think we can do it? Alright. Alright, so let's get everything we need loaded up. Let's put our taps in. This hammer, that'll work. That in there. Use these to cut the tubing. Alright. Extra battery today for our drill bit for our tap, piece of hose tubing already cut. This here. Well, I was afraid of this. This is the maple forest.
So we're gonna have to tap in mud.
Yep. You know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do what we need to do, but it's gonna be hard to get in here. It's cold today. It's about 35 degrees. And that water is pretty deep. You can see all my M's out there. All these maple trees are marked. But some of that water is pretty deep. Start around the perimeter here and get some of the easy to tap ones. We got a few smaller ones over here and there. And I may just have to power through and wait out here and do this. This will hopefully dry up a little bit over the next week or two. But gosh, I might be canoeing out here to collect this every day. This is going to be a pain. But we do have a lot along the perimeter there in the more shallow water, and we've got some up on dry land around the edges. So I'll start with those, and then we'll keep moving our way in and get the harder to tap ones last, I guess. This one here is actually a black walnut tree. So I have a couple of these. I think that I've got another one at least that's big enough. So I'm going to try to make some black walnut syrup this year. So we'll have to label that one differently. Well, I found there's another little trail entrance in here to the woods that leads to kind of the back end of the forest here. So I'm hoping I can find a few more back in here. I see a couple marked over here. I know I've got these big ones, and I think it's a little bit more dry back in this area. So we'll start trying to find a few in here and get those tapped. Alright, there's another one. This one's a big one. These silver maples, a lot of them have 2-3 separate trunks on them, so although we don't get as high of a sugar content out of a silver maple, they still produce plenty of sap worth boiling. So we got 3 taps out of this one into 1 5-gallon bucket. Okay, we got that one done. That one's actually running today. It's been a little bit cold. It's starting to get sunny though, so we might have a little bit of a run later today. It's getting pretty deep over here. We got a little piece of dry land over there. We'll stick that bucket. All right, this is a good one. This will be 4 taps. It's got 4 distinct trunks on it, so it'll give us 4 good taps. Put a big bucket on this one. Next year, I think I'm going to get some tees, so I can just heat one hole in the bucket and have all the tubes just run together into tees. That would be a little more efficient. This works. Hey, get back here. One over here. You can kind of see some more off in the distance through the woods, so we're making progress here. Let's see, where else can we go? I got one more bucket with me. Yeah, I can't wait to come and collect the sap. Oh, that one went, that went over the boot line. That was deep. I already tapped that one. Okay. Tapped that one yesterday. That might be a maple. I think I just have these 2 left out in this area. And this one will be a floating bucket. There's nowhere to set the bucket out here, so. And there's one more right here. That's just cold water. All right, we got to get these ones. This is the main part. This is where most of the sap's going to come from. So we got to get in here and figure this out. Want to get these tapped. So, I have an idea. Kayak. I don't have a canoe, but a kayak may work. And I've got some larger nails that I'm going to use to support the buckets into the tree. So I'll pound one of these big spikes in there, and we'll hang the handles so the buckets won't be floating in the water. And that should allow me to get a couple taps in here at least. And it's going to take some time, but collecting the sap's going to be the hard part. But this hopefully will be lower as the weeks progress here. So this is probably the worst it will be, I'm hoping. Got one. My battery died on my drill again. I gotta get some new batteries. Well, that's working. A little bit slow, but it's working. I'll just keep at it. Keep out here. Maybe I'll get the kids out here in their kayaks. They can bring me buckets and supplies, and I can just get out there and just start tapping. There's a lot of trees out here to tap. Probably 50 trees out here. Well, what do we have out here? There's lots of them. This one, what the heck happened to this thing? Some of them I don't see my labels on, my M. Might be below the water, but maybe all of these. I'm only gonna tap the ones I marked. One over there will get 2 taps, so I need a bigger bucket for that. All right, let's go back and get a bucket. Looks like I got some help.
There are no alligators here. Or crocodiles are here.
All right, well, another one done. But bad news is I broke off my drill bit in the tree.